Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Cone Dodger here. Welcome back to the Formula One 2018 Haas Career Series. We have just 2 races to go in our first season of competition. That means we have Interlagos, yay, and Abu Dhabi, boo, left to go. So we're going to head into this weekend's race, hoping to have a really good performance after a really good performance there in Mexico. Got a little bit of homework due here just yet. 1,200 resource points. I would like to work on some aero. We're 8 out of 23 in durability, 7 out of 22 in chassis, 6 out of 23 in aero, and 4 out of 20 plays it in powertrain. Powertrain is still serving us pretty well. I would like to work on the aero as we head to next season. We have a 1-week development in the rear wing end plate downforce department, and we have a 10% reduction in price there and a 5% failure chance reduction. Other big upgrades, we could do this reduced or redesigned brake ducts. That's a minor development as well, actually, but it gets us further down the tree, you know? It gets us moving down a whole another branch of the tree. That seems like it would be nice, but I think we could actually do 2 at once if we have enough points. 639, 639. Ooh, I think we would be just short of being able to do that. That sucks. Yeah, this one's 639. That's not going to leave us. It only leaves us with 607. Well, dang it. Dang it. Is there anything I could do for 607? I kind of doubt it. We have a 12% reduction here, but it's 625. Well, shoot. I was really hoping that we could do something here. Okay, well, we actually do have something to do that's fairly cheap. We had an ERS cooling upgrade that we never redeveloped. So I could go ahead and redevelop that and get that going for next week's race in Brazil. Or this week's, actually. And at least we'll have 2 little upgrades going into that race. But nothing else major from there. Okay, so let's try and get some good resource points today as we head to Brazil.
Okay, we had the new parts come through from the factory. We'll get them on the car ahead of FP1.
Boy, there's a message we haven't heard in a good bit. I want to take a look at our upgrade progress, actually, and see what things are looking like. Been closely following what the competition's been doing here lately. Now, Ferrari has stalled their development. Perhaps Ferrari shifted over to saving parts for next season. Interestingly, it looks like Mercedes has done the opposite. They have suddenly started to increase their performance. Red Bull's been kind of stagnant. A little bit here, a little bit there. Haas, however, has taken huge strides and moved really, really close once again to Mercedes and Red Bull. So that's probably where we're going to be ending the season. Is look at the gap beginning the season, and look at the gap closing all the way down as Haas has been moving closer and closer. Very encouraging and looking like we're going to have a really fun time next season. All right, well, off to practice for me. All right, headed out for the track acclimatization. Using a setup based on my setup from Russia here, trying to find the balance. This is a track it's really got a weird balance because it's very fast and very slow. You need a lot of chassis grip, and then you need a lot of aero grip. It's kind of a mixed bag in a real small package. So trying to find the right setup for here is pretty tricky. That was a little bit too much oversteer on turn in there. And overall, really struggling through that first set of turns. This has got to be one of my favorite Formula One tracks. Not one I'm always amazing at, but I just really like driving here, even with hang-ups like that, even though it's not raining. But speaking of rain, is a topic of common issue here is the weather. The weather can be very wild, unpredictable, and quite often rainy, so that can be its own issue. Also, I'm out here on the medium tire right now, which I don't feel is the right tire for this car on this track. So that's kind of hurting my performance in this program, I do believe. I just feel like the nose is not connected to the track quite well enough. This doesn't look like it's going to be enough points for a purple in the program. The old purple program. Not quite. Oh, 10 short.
Solid handle on the lap. Let's try and perfect each turn. Remember that
Oh, barely even made that gate.
Consistency bonus.
Sector 1 seems to be where I'm really struggling. I think I might need to go for a bit more downforce. I was playing it pretty aggressive, to be honest, trying to get as much speed out of the car as possible. I was noticed last week that really where I was getting beat the most was on the fast parts of the track, but then in the high downforce parts of the track, I was, you know, kind of excelling. So maybe my setup was a little too conservative last week. Oh, it did not make that turn either. Yeah, I'm not exactly excelling at this. Again, I don't think these tires are the right tires for this track, especially with this car. I might give this another try. I really want purple in this, and I really want as many resource points as we can possibly get to end this season so that we can do some good upgrades for next season.
This is the final lap of the program.
Was I 10 points short again? Alright, let's try and be a little calmer through this first sector. It was better, but it still wasn't purple. I don't know what to do differently there. I think maybe just an increase overall on downforce, maybe in order. Gosh, missed the purple there too. This might not happen. Although certainly my enjoyment in these programs gets lower and lower the longer I play the game. They're still challenging. They don't get easier, that's for sure. Area that right front tire is really trying to get purples there. That's a good string of them. Probably miss it here though. Oh, we got it. We got it. This might be good enough. This might be good enough as long as I don't mess anything up along this front straightaway or front stretch. Nailed it. All right.
Okay, test complete, and that was a very good job indeed. We got a lot of valuable information out of that.
Okay, well, we were able to do that. I'm not going to throw downforce on the car just yet. I'm going to get this thing out here on some better tires and see how the car responds. Because I really wouldn't mind it if the thing had, you know, a little bit lower downforce than everybody else. But it handled good on the soft compounds. We'll see. So now we're into practice 2. I was looking at the weather and stuff and seeing how things were shaking up, and some rain worked its way in at the end there of FP1. I was unable to do the qualifying pace program.
Let's talk about this track. There are still
Is this really the time, Jeff?
Turn 12, Zhongkao, but those are all full throttle. For that last slow corner, stay as wide as you can into the braking zone and turn in early. The curb can look high, so you'll be tempted to avoid it, but the inside wheel will be unloaded, so it should be fine.
Thanks, Jeff. Anyway, like I was saying, the rest of the practice went very well. Tire management was great, fuel management great, ERS management great. Very happy with the setup. This car is responding extremely well to the softer tires. I'm going to try and do this qualifying pace again. However, we're going to have to use a set of used, very slightly used, but used super soft tires to do it. We'll see what we can get out of it. Car is working so well in the middle sector, but what we really need is a little bit better sector 1 and a little bit better sector 3 to give a complete lap. With that time that I did in FP1, it was good, but it was nowhere near the optimal time. So hopefully now that the track is dry again, we can do a little bit better. Just a little bit of rain there at the end of the lap, sector 3. Pretty much ruined my run. Okay, definitely feels a little skatey. Also, for resource points, they want us to have a fast sector 1, 2, and 3. I already did 1 and 2, so I need a 3. Let the car run wide there. It's completely fine. It actually seems to prefer it that way. This is where the car has been performing extremely well. Down to the gas so well right there. Turns in so nice. That's the difference between this car and some cars I've driven here in the past, is how well it turns in to those slow turns. Just like Jeff said, use a lot of curb. Oh, this lap's a flyer. This lap's an absolute flyer. Yeah, that should be P1.
Okay, test complete, and that was a very good job indeed. We got a lot
Oh,
of
jeez.
valuable information out of that.
Yes, result first. I was so distracted looking at the results that I may have missed the track. But I am extremely pleased. This car is working very well here. Hopefully the weather stays in our favor, because that could be the undoing of what is shaping up to be a really great weekend.
An interesting practice session there then. Let's remind ourselves of the top three, who are Red, Hamilton and Sebastian.
Good day today. Tell us about it from your perspective.
I practiced some.
You really put a lot of effort into practice today. Are you testing new components?
Yeah, it's important to get a feel for the improved aero performance. Yeah.
You were flying in practice. Do you think you can carry this over to qualifying?
Boy, the aero department better be real pleased.
Appreciate your time.
I'm glad you appreciate my time. Do you appreciate me? Because I don't feel like you do. Just my time.
Welcome along then to Interlagos as we await the green light to get today's qualifying session underway.
Indeed. I want to go to track immediately and get a lap under my belt for Q1. Feel really confident. This is still a tricky track, though. It's super easy to overdrive. I think the section where I have been having the most issues overdriving the car, right here. Too much of the curb on the right, getting sideways on that curb, probably the area that I've had the most issues with. Also Sector 1, slightly under or overdriving Sector 1 can ruin a lap, so really need to hit that perfectly, which is difficult to do, because there's no braking mark anywhere near where I'm actually braking for turn 1, and the turning point is floating as well. It's just a vague line through the turn. I'm also getting a weird hang-up in the game right there, basically every lap. But because it's doing it every lap, I'm essentially just getting used to it and working around it. 11 for Stroll. I'm curious to see what kind of times the fast guys are putting in today. I think we're going to be in the 9s. If things really went well, maybe the 8s. Oh, Vettel's already in the low 9s, so definitely. Oh, there's that oversteer I was talking about. And then it screwed up my entry for the last turn. Definitely not going to be a clear-cut pole position fighting car today, despite what the program kind of said it would be. This is probably going to be a mid-10. A low 9, or a high 9. Okay. Plenty good enough to get us out of Q1, but definitely plenty of room for improvement. Oh, easy on the old engine.
We have 2 laps of fuel remaining.
Just a little bit sloppy, I would say. How about that? Magnussen P4 with a 109.4. Vettel with a 108.8. So yeah, I need to find some time. I think I got plenty out there though. And Q2 will be the time to start really focusing on getting those laps perfect. Q2, go to track. Flying lap. Let's get right into this. Keep it fresh on my mind. Get some finger stretches in. Alright. shoulders up. This is an intense track. It's so much track in such a little space, and the speeds are so high and so low that you really got to be focused. Not that every track isn't like that in F1, but some are greater than others, and this is one of those. Okay, a little bit early on the braking point there. Isn't the worst thing in the world by any means. Looks like we need to get ourselves into the low 9s to be real comfortable. Not going for any funny tire strategy here, sticking with the supers. I don't think our car is quite to that point just yet where we can afford to be doing Q2 sessions on harder compounds. That's only a 110 there, but that's probably just a betting lap. A little bit of oversteer out of there seems to be a common issue. Whoa! It stepped out big time on me there. That was a huge moment. Very lucky to escape with no damage. Okay, well, back to the pits for us. Alright, going back out, the big bummer there is that means we only have one set of tires to use for Q3, assuming we get there. So no pole runs today, most likely. But hopefully we can get that back end under control. Something that commonly happens is you turn the engine mode up to qualifying mode, and that little extra power is more than I'm prepared for. That's better. That's better. Getting all four tires into the... You can see there's like a rubbered in section of that curb and tarmac or runoff area. That's where you want the car. That's the ideal way to get through there. Even if the entry was real lame, the exit very good. Alright, back to the gas here. Bit wide there, but not too bad. I feel like I'm still overdriving the car a touch. Alright, keep the wheel spin under control. Bit wide on entry there as well, but kind of taking the conservative line because I'm a little spooked after what happened first run. Purple middle sector, that's where this car is really shining, even with those little bit of wide entries. We'll see, hopefully this is a low 9. And looks like it will be. 109.1.
Fantastic. That was the fastest lap.
Very nice. Alright, now the car still has a lot of time in it. See what we can do in Q3, assuming we get there, but I mean, I would say we're pretty comfortable now. Alright, P3, P9, Magnussen falling back there in Q2. Still makes it through, though. If there was any doubt in your mind that I was pushing to the absolute limits, I think that that Q2 lap where I lost it should pretty much answer that. I am absolutely pushing to probably 5% above my ability to put the car where it is on the grid, and that's really the fun part of doing this series for me. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it a lot because of that ability to always be pushing the car further than maybe its actual potential is. Alright, off to Q3. So only one set of tires to use in Q3. I actually considered going out and doing a soft lap first to give me a delta to go against. But the softs are so much slower that I don't think it's going to be super helpful. So I'm just going to try and really hyper-focus on a lap here. So we have a nice run down the straightaway. Don't do anything dramatic. Alright, here we go. Great braking point there. Oh, that was fantastic. Okay, this is starting off very well. That was pretty darn good out of there as well. A little bit of a bobble in the middle, but nothing big. Fighting the nose a bit right there, more than I was in my best qualifying practice runs. Just a little game hang up out of that turn. Slightly distracting. That's everything. That's everything I have. That's 105% of my ability right there. I could not do that every lap. Plug the inside. This looks like it'll be an 8. 8-8. Great, mate. No debate. We'll see. We'll see where that puts us. But I don't think there's any more left in me or the car from there. Whew. Whew. Okay.
The grid is all set then for the race tomorrow.
Not
But
quite
before
enough.
we go, let's quickly remind ourselves of our top 3, who are Vettel, Red, and Kimi Raikkonen. It's time to leave for now, but we'll be back tomorrow when the Grand Prix itself gets underway.
Alright, not disappointed. Not disappointed. Putting the car right in between the Ferraris. Magnussen there in P6, right in between the Mercedes. Really tight grouping there, 1 through 8, all separated by a second. That's the magic of Interlagos. Oh, buddy. Put in a lot of effort on that one. That was, like I said, that was everything I could give.
The fans really seem to enjoy that. You made it look easy.
Did I? Because I was just saying how I
Are you
didn't.
feeling confident that you can take your qualifying pace into the race?
I have no doubt. There's no reason not. The car can take it. I have confidence in spades. This should be a piece of cake. Showmanship! God, I hate
What
doing
was the
this.
secret of your qualifying pace?
Is there an arrow thing? If I told you they'd introduce regulations against it, having a great team, no secret, just give the... Wait, what? Durability? Okay, whatever.
Appreciate your time.
I didn't quite know which way to go with that one. But... yeah, I'm really happy. I'm really happy. I don't know that we have a race-winning car, since I was pushing it so very, very to the edge to get it to P2 in qualifying. But it should be another podium-capable car today, I think. Or tomorrow. Whatever day it is. Looking forward to it. Curious if these things are going well. Here's your look. We're beating Magnussen, kind of just barely at the moment, but we had that weird Singapore incident at the beginning of this. And then we're actually winning against old Danny Rick. Pretty healthy margin there this time. Get our resource points. There's the team standings, even though that doesn't really matter because we really want to stick with Haas. And we're pushing our way to veteran, but not quite there yet. And the showmanship thing, haven't made a ton of progress. Okay,
Well
that will
done.
do it.
That was a good qualifying performance.
Thanks, Emma. We'll see you all tomorrow for the race.